There's been tension simmering in the world of women's sports for a while. But what just happened with Brittney Griner, Riley Gaines, and the WNBA after the Caitlin Clark incident has pushed the whole conversation to a boiling point. This isn't just a story about basketball. This is about fairness, controversy, politics, and a battle over what women's sports really represent in 2025. It all started when Caitlin Clark, one of the most popular and talented athletes to ever enter women's basketball, took a hard foul in a recent WNBA game. Now, fouls are a part of the game. We get that. But what made this one different was the way it seemed so targeted, so personal. Clark, the golden girl of the league, has been under fire ever since she stepped onto the pro court. But this particular foul sparked a national conversation. As soon as video of the hit went viral, fans, analysts, and athletes across the country began to weigh in. Some defended the play, others said it was flat out unacceptable. But one voice that came through loud and clear was none other than Riley Gaines. Now, if you've been following women's sports over the past few years, you know Riley Gaines has never been one to stay silent. She's the former NCAA swimmer, who became a national figure after speaking out about transgender athletes in women's competitions. Her message has always been about fairness, biological women competing against biological women. And when she saw what was happening to Caitlin Clark, she wasn't about to hold back. In a tweet that instantly blew up, Riley didn't just defend Clark. She went after what she saw as the hypocrisy in the WNBA, and she called out Brittney Griner by name. Griner, who returned to the WNBA after her harrowing detainment in Russia, has always been a towering figure in more ways than one. She's an Olympic gold medalist, a dominant center, and a vocal advocate for inclusivity. But to Riley Gaines, Griner represents something different, a symbol of what she believes is wrong with women's sports today. In her statement, Riley said, "How is it that we protect Brittney Griner and praise her return to the WNBA, but we allow players to cheap shot Caitlin Clark with barely a slap on the wrist? Where's the equality? Where's the fairness?" That one comment set off a firestorm. Social media exploded. Sports talk shows picked up the story instantly. Griner, who usually shrugs off critics, suddenly found herself at the center of a very public storm. And this time, the blowback was intense. Griner, to her credit, didn't stay silent either. In a press conference following her next game, she was clearly uncomfortable. When asked directly about Riley Gaines' comments, Griner tried to pivot. "I'm not here to get into that," she said. "We're here to play basketball and grow this league. I support every woman in this league, period." But the pressure didn't stop. Gaines continued to hammer away, appearing on multiple podcasts and news shows. On one show she said, "It's not just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the culture of intimidation in women's sports. We fought for Title IX so women could compete safely and fairly. And now we're watching stars like Caitlin Clark get assaulted on the court and told to shut up about it." By this point, even people who normally ignore WNBA drama were paying attention. And Brittney Griner, for maybe the first time in her career, looked rattled. This wasn't just about one hard foul. This was about the bigger war being fought in sports, over identity, over fairness, over how far we're willing to bend the rules in the name of inclusion. Let's not forget, Griner has publicly supported transgender athletes in the past. She's been an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, and even said last year that she believes trans women should have a place in women's sports. To Riley Gaines, that's unacceptable. She believes that when biological men enter women's competitions, regardless of gender identity, it creates an uneven playing field. And in her eyes, Griner is one of the biggest voices pushing that agenda. But here's where things got even more heated. After Griner's comments dodging the Gaines accusations, a leaked audio clip from a private WNBA player meeting surfaced online. In the recording, while not directly confirmed by teams or the league, you can allegedly hear Griner expressing frustration about the drama surrounding Caitlin Clark and the media bias that favors her. Some interpreted her tone as dismissive. Others said it confirmed a quiet resentment building among WNBA veterans toward the new generation of players like Clark, who come in with massive fan bases and corporate sponsorships. That audio clip sent the internet into overdrive. Supporters of Clark and Gaines saw it as proof that Griner and others resent the attention Clark gets. They said it highlighted the toxic environment forming around the league's treatment of younger stars. Even some longtime WNBA fans began to question the culture that's been brewing behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Gaines wasn't done. She used the moment to amplify her platform, calling out not just Griner, but the WNBA itself. This league can't grow if it pushes out its rising stars and allows bullying on the court, she said. And when veterans stand by and say nothing, or, worse, mock the issue privately, that's a betrayal of every woman who dreamed of playing pro basketball. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from Griner versus Gaines to something much larger. People started asking tough questions. Are WNBA veterans gatekeeping the league from players like Caitlin Clark? Is there an unspoken culture of resentment toward women who didn't come up the hard way? And is the league doing enough to protect its future? Griner, meanwhile, tried to keep her head down. But sources close to the Mercury locker room revealed that the media storm had clearly shaken her. She reportedly told teammates that she didn't sign up to be a culture war figure, and that all she wants to do is play basketball. But at this point, it's clear the issue is bigger than her. This is about the soul of women's sports, and what happens when two very different worldviews collide on the court. Riley Gaines, for all her critics, has tapped into something very real. A growing number of Americans, especially parents of young girls in sports, feel like women's athletics is being twisted into something political. They don't want to see star athletes like Caitlin Clark roughed up and dismissed. They want rules, fairness, and above all, respect for the women who make the game what it is. And Brittney Griner, whether she likes it or not, has become the symbol of the other side. The side that says inclusion is more important than tradition. That progress sometimes means pushing boundaries, even if it makes people uncomfortable. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. Caitlin Clark is the future of the league. There's no question about that. But if veterans like Griner can't find a way to welcome that future, the league risks alienating the very fans it's trying to win over. As for Riley Gaines, she's not backing down. She recently hinted at starting a coalition for women's sports protection, specifically calling for clearer rules around physical conduct, biological competition, and sportsmanship. Whether you agree with her or not, one thing's for sure. She's forcing a conversation that no one can ignore anymore. And as the league continues its season, every foul, every press conference, every tweet is now under a microscope. Brittney Griner may have hoped this would all blow over, but with Gaines keeping the pressure on, and fans watching every move, this is far from over. In a way, this moment is defining. It's no longer just about one player or one game. It's about who controls the future of women's sports, and whether we'll see that future built on fairness, inclusion, or something that tries to balance both. So whether Brittney Griner is panicking or just trying to keep her cool, one thing is certain. She's in the spotlight, and Riley Gaines just turned up the heat. The whole sports world is watching. And what happens next could change everything.